They act like it's nothing, like you're just another chapter they already closed, like your name doesn't echo in their mind when the room gets quiet. But tell me something. If they were truly unbothered, why does the energy still feel so intense? Why does it feel like there's something unsaid hovering in the air every time you think about them? Why does your intuition keep nudging you, whispering that this story isn't finished? Only take what resonates with you, because what I'm feeling here is not indifference. It's restraint. It's someone gripping their emotions tightly, trying to control the narrative, trying to look composed. On the outside, they move like they've mastered detachment, calm replies, delayed reactions, acting busy, acting distracted, acting like they don't care whether you stay or go. But beneath that carefully crafted exterior, there's noise, there's tension, there's a constant inner dialogue they can't silence. You see, when someone truly doesn't care, there's no performance, there's no effort, there's no subtle need to prove they're fine. But this person, they are proving, they are showing, they are making sure the world sees them as unaffected. And when someone tries that hard to appear unbothered, it usually means they're fighting something much deeper. There's pride here, a strong ego, a fear of looking weak. They don't want to be the one who feels more. They don't want to be the one who reaches first. So instead, they hold back. They convince themselves that staying silent equals power, that acting cool equals control. But emotions don't disappear just because you refuse to express them. I'm picking up on obsession energy, but not in a loud, dramatic way. It's quiet. It's private. It's the kind that shows up late at night when distractions fade. The kind that makes someone scroll through memories in their mind. The kind that wonders what you're doing, who you're with, whether you still think about them too. And the interesting part, the more you pull your energy back, the stronger their fixation grows. Your silence unsettles them. Your glow up confuses them. Your peace triggers something inside them they can't quite explain. They thought distance would make it easier. They thought time would soften it. But instead, it sharpened. There's also comparison energy here. Whether they admit it or not, they measure others against you. Conversations feel different. Connections feel lighter. Something about what you shared left a mark. And they didn't expect that. They expected to move on effortlessly. They expected to replace what they lost. But energy like this isn't easily duplicated. What's fascinating is that while they appear relaxed, their mind isn't. They replay moments. They question their choices. They wonder if they miscalculated by pretending not to care. And yet, their pride keeps them frozen. It's like they're caught between wanting to reach out and wanting to maintain their image. This is someone who watches from a distance, who notices subtle changes, who feels shifts in your energy even if you haven't spoken in weeks. They may not always show up physically, but energetically, they are very much present. And something is building here, because pretending gets exhausting. Holding back feelings takes energy. Wearing a mask every day becomes heavy. The calm exterior is starting to crack, even if no one else sees it yet. The question isn't whether they're obsessed. The question is how long they can keep pretending they're not. Now we're going to pull all of this together in a way that feels grounded, clear, and emotionally honest. Because what this spread is showing isn't chaos. It's depth. It's control battling emotion. It's pride wrestling with attachment. And it's someone who is doing everything they can to look unaffected, while internally they are anything but. The first card guiding this entire dynamic is the High Priestess. This energy is quiet but powerful. It tells me that this connection is not surface level. It's intuitive. It's spiritual. It's the kind of bond where words were never the only thing connecting you. Even in silence, there is awareness. Even in distance, there is a pull. The High Priestess represents hidden feelings and unspoken truths. This person knows what they feel. They may not say it. They may not show it openly. But deep down, they are fully aware that this connection meant something significant. The High Priestess also suggests that you trigger something in them that feels almost mystical. You see through them. You sense shifts. And that makes it difficult for them to maintain full control. Because when someone feels emotionally exposed without even confessing anything, it shakes their stability. So instead of leaning into vulnerability, they retreat into silence. They keep their emotions locked away. They observe. They wait. They try to appear calm. But underneath that calm is intensity. Then we move into the moon, and this is where the real emotional turbulence lives. The moon governs the subconscious. It rules what happens in private, at night, when distractions fade. During the day, they can play the role. They can act detached. They can convince themselves they're fine. But the moon shows that when they are alone, their thoughts become louder. They replay moments. They imagine scenarios. They wonder what you're doing. They question whether you still think about them. This is obsession that hides in the dark. Not loud, dramatic obsession. Quiet, persistent obsession. The kind that creeps into their mind unexpectedly. The kind that makes them check your presence without meaning to. The moon also represents fear. And I feel a fear of losing you completely. A fear that you might truly move on. A fear that if they wait too long, the opportunity will disappear. The moon energy also explains why they appear hot and cold. One moment they feel emotionally brave in their mind, ready to reach out. The next moment their fear takes over, and they pull back again. It's a cycle, a wave. They are not emotionally steady because they are fighting something they don't fully understand. The third card, the Two of Cups, confirms something important. This was mutual. The connection wasn't imagined. It wasn't one-sided. The Two of Cups is soul recognition. It's equal emotional exchange. It's two people meeting at the same frequency. And that's exactly why it's so hard for them to let go. When someone experiences genuine emotional alignment, it leaves an imprint. And this imprint doesn't fade easily. They may try to move forward. They may distract themselves. But something always reminds them of you. Something always feels slightly incomplete without the energy you brought into their life. The Two of Cups tells me they know this wasn't casual. They know it was meaningful. And that awareness makes pretending much harder. The fourth card is the Page of Swords. This is Watcher energy. Mental fixation. Curiosity that refuses to settle. The Page of Swords doesn't always act boldly, but it observes carefully. This tells me they pay attention to you, even if it's from a distance. They notice your changes. They sense your energy shifts. They may check your social presence without interacting. They may ask about you indirectly. They are mentally engaged. The Page of Swords also represents overthinking. They analyze your words. They analyze your silence. They try to decode what you feel without directly asking. There is hesitation here because they don't want to appear vulnerable. They don't want to risk rejection, but their curiosity keeps pulling them back. They want reassurance without having to request it. This is the low-key obsession energy showing clearly. Not dramatic, not chaotic, just constant mental presence. You cross their mind more often than they would ever admit. Then we have the Nine of Wands. This card speaks of emotional defense. This is someone who has built walls around their heart. Maybe they've been hurt before. Maybe vulnerability feels dangerous. The Nine of Wands is cautious, guarded, and tired. It's someone who is still standing, but exhausted from fighting. They are fighting their feelings. They are fighting the urge to reach out. They are fighting the softness they feel toward you. And it's draining them. Because suppressing emotion takes energy. Pretending not to care takes energy. Acting unbothered when you are deeply stirred inside creates internal tension. This card tells me they are nearing emotional fatigue. They cannot keep up the performance forever. The longer they resist, the heavier it feels. Pride can only carry someone so far before it starts to feel like isolation. Finally, we arrive at the Ace of Cups. This is emotional overflow. This is new beginnings in feeling. This is the heart opening after being closed. The Ace of Cups suggests that the emotions they have been trying to contain are growing stronger, not weaker. This is not fading. It is intensifying. The Ace of Cups often appears when someone realizes that hiding their feelings is not bringing peace. It represents the moment when someone understands that emotional truth is lighter than emotional suppression. This could show up as a message, a confession, a softer approach, a shift in behavior, something that reveals what they have been keeping inside. When you put all of these cards together, the story is very clear. They know what this connection is on a deep level. They feel it strongly in private moments. They recognize that it was mutual and meaningful. They watch you from a distance with curiosity and mental attachment. They guard themselves out of fear and pride. And now their emotions are building to a point where containment is becoming uncomfortable. So yes, they act unbothered, but the cards show someone who is very much affected, someone who is mentally invested, someone who is emotionally stirred, someone who is trying to maintain control but slowly realizing that control is slipping. And here's something important. Your energy matters here. The more you focus on yourself, the more they notice. The calmer you become, the louder their thoughts get. Your detachment makes them question their own strategy because they expected you to react. They expected you to chase. They expected you to confirm that they still had power. But when you stay steady, it forces them to confront their own feelings without distraction. This connection is not random. It's not shallow. It's not forgotten. It's simply being hidden behind pride. But pride is not stronger than emotion forever. The High Priestess says the truth is known. The Moon says the feelings are alive in the dark. The Two of Cups says the bond was real. The Page of Swords says they're watching. The Nine of Wands says they're tired of resisting. The Ace of Cups says the heart wants to open. The mask is still there, but it's cracking. Before we close this reading, I want you to sit with the energy for a moment, not from a place of overthinking, but from a place of awareness. Because what the cards have shown today is not confusion. It's clarity behind silence. It's emotion behind ego. It's longing behind control. This person may act calm. They may act detached. They may continue to present themselves as unbothered. But the energy tells a different story. And energy doesn't lie. What's hidden eventually reveals itself, not because it's forced, but because emotions demand honesty when they become too heavy to carry alone. Now, here's the most important part of this message. Your power in this dynamic. You are not being asked to chase. You are not being asked to prove your worth. You are not being asked to force a confession. The High Priestess energy that surrounds you reminds you to stay grounded in your knowing. You don't need constant validation when your intuition already feels the truth. If they are meant to step forward, they will. If their emotions are truly as strong as the cards suggest, they will reach a point where silence feels heavier than vulnerability. And if they don't, that tells you everything you need to know too. Because obsession without action is still avoidance. Feelings without courage remain unfinished. And you deserve more than hidden emotion. You deserve clarity. You deserve honesty. You deserve someone who doesn't have to fight themselves to show up for you. The cards show movement building. They show emotional pressure rising. They show someone who cannot pretend forever. But timing belongs to free will. And that's where your strength comes in. Your peace. Your glow, your detachment, your focus on your own growth. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is nothing at all. Let them feel the weight of their own silence. Let them sit with the depth of what they're hiding. Let them realize what your absence truly means. Because when you stop reacting, when you stop chasing, when you stop feeding the ego dynamic, the truth surfaces naturally. And if this connection is meant to evolve, it will evolve from honesty, not from pressure. Trust that what is real cannot stay buried forever. Trust that what is meant for you will move toward you. Trust that your energy speaks louder than words ever could. If this message resonated with you, hold on to the parts that felt true and release the rest. Your journey is your own, and no reading overrides your intuition. And remember, someone can act unbothered all they want, but when emotions are real, the heart always finds a way to speak.